All praises, all power, all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakaha Kodash, Yahweh, being the name of the Father, who the world everybody calls God, Yahweh, meaning He exists, Bahashem, meaning in the name, Yahweh Shai, who the world everybody calls Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai, meaning He is salvation, Bahashem in the name, Rakaha Kodash, Spirit Holy. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach well and rule well, who taught me this truth. Peace and salutation to the Akyam, the fellow laborers, the hopeful elect, pushing this truth at risk of known lives through the four corners of the earth. To the Akwathim, listen, learning, and sincerity, and the truth and the silence, Shalom. Akyam, meaning brothers, Akwathim, meaning sisters, Shalom, meaning peace, be unto you. It's your brother Shema from the GMS Toronto camp here in Toronto, here with another lesson. And we'll get right into it. Americans are falling behind on their bills. Wall Street is alarmed. Americans are falling behind on their bills. Wall Street is alarmed. Lenders see a rise in late payments on credit cards and auto loans. Ecclesiastes 12:3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, right? Who are the keepers of the house? Wall Street, stock analysts, the stock market, bankers. They're trembling because of the volatility of the market. They're trembling because of delinquencies. The Dow falling, NASDAQ, right, falling 1,000 points. That's the stock market trembling, the keepers of the house. And the strong man shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease. The strong man shall bow themselves. The middle class, right? It's been good for the middle class for many, many years, man. You know, middle class was the American dream. A white picket fence, a dog, a stay-at-home wife, right? That was America in the 50s. You know, now it's a nightmare. It's no longer a dream. And the grinders cease. Grinders, workers, no employment. There's no jobs out here, man. It's going to continue to get worse. Because they are few, right? No jobs, no work. And those that look out of the windows be darkened. Those that look out of the windows be darkened. The financial forecast looks grim. It doesn't look bright. It's dark. Those that are looking towards what the future holds, there's no good news. It says here, lenders see a rise in the late payments. Salakia. Lenders see a rise in late payments on credit cards and auto loans. Right? So credit cards are becoming more and more delinquent. Auto loans are becoming more and more delinquent. What does that lead to? Your credit card being revoked. They're unable, the bank's unable to collect the money. Your automobile being repossessed because you're no longer able to make the payments. Right? Scriptures say the borrower is servant to the lender. Right? Who's the borrower? Right? Jakes, two-time loser, Edomites. Right? The middle class. And who's the lender? These banking families, these ruling class elites. Proverbs 22:7. The rich ruleth over the poor. Right, the rich, these banking families, ruleth over the poor, beginning with Jake. Jake is the needy, Jake is the poor. But these heathen nations, as we're reading, middle class, Edomites, they're beginning to experience the plight of Jacob. And the borrower is servant to the lender, right? Servant to the lender. People burn both ends of the candle. Midnight oil, both ends of the candle. Work themselves to the point of their bodies breaking down on them, only to enter into a retirement where there's no retirement savings, no 401k, and their body's starting to fail them, right? All in the pursuit of a pipe dream, the American dream. It says here, signs that Americans are struggling to keep up with their bills are setting off alarms on Wall Street. Right? Babylonians are no longer are more and more becoming unable to keep up with their bills. Right? And this is something that Jake, this has been the plight of Jake. All right, let's get that in Haggai 1. Unable to make ends meet. Right? You middle class, upper middle class Edomites are becoming up close and personal and familiar with not having enough. Haggai 1:6. Ye have sown much. Let's read in the NLT. You have sown much and bring in little. Right? You work, and your pay's not enough to cover everything. Jake's been used to this. Jake, this is Jake's life. You eat, but do not have enough. You drink, but you are not filled with drink. You clothe yourselves, but no one is warm. And he who earns wages to put into a bag with holes, right? Your paycheck doesn't go far enough, man. Your paycheck comes in and you have a budget. Your paycheck goes on bills, and there's still bills, unpaid bills that your paycheck can't cover. So you're in the red, right? You don't have enough for groceries, and then couple that in with a major car repair or a major expense, unforeseen expense. You know, your house flooded. You know, your water heater broke. Right? Babylonians are now faced with the decision of do I pay my electricity or do I pay my cell phone bill? Right? Cell phones are getting cut. You know, the repo man's coming for vehicles. Signs that Americans are struggling to keep up with their bills are setting off alarms on Wall Street. Shares of consumer lending companies slid this past week after executive raised warnings about lower income borrowers who are struggling to make payments. Door remarks from banking executives at the Barclays Banking Conference rattled investors who were already on edge about the health of the U.S. economy. Listen, she can't be healed. The health of the U.S. economy. Babylon cannot be healed. Let's get that real quick. Right? This place is through. Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahshai's hand. Right? The Lord set up Babylon to be the bright lights big city. Right? Once upon a time, everybody wanted to come to America. The land of milk and honey, the American dream, the white picket fence, the wife, the dog. That made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken over wine. Therefore, the nations are mad, right? And the whole world has drunk of the cup, the wine of Babylon, which is her philosophy. Right? The whole world has drunk it. Right? Her Moism, her Skittles kids, that whole vibration has been spread throughout the four corners of the earth. That's Babylon's wine. Here's the point. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, right? And we're seeing the demise, the controlled demolition via the hands of the elites, who the Lord's putting the spirit on the elites to tank this thing. We're seeing the controlled demolition of America the Great, Babylon the Great. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain, right? Balm for her pain. The balm is the stimulus checks, the bailouts for her pain, right? Her economic crisis. America the Great, Babylon the Great is in crisis right now. If so be, she may be healed, right? If so be, right? If these stimulus checks and these bailouts would work, she would be healed, but they're not going to work. Verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed, right? It's not going to work. She's going to continue to tank. America the Great, Babylon the Great is going to continue to tank. Forsake her and let us go, every one into his own country. For her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. Forsake her, forsake her. A lot of these other nations that came to America to make money, the cash cow, they're now leaving. Right? Ishmael is packing up his bodegas and leaving. Elam is packing up his gas stations and leaving. Right? Because she's done. She's finished. Right? And all of this is going to lead to the crash of the banking systems. Right? All of this is going to lead to the crash of the banking system. Right? The average rate as of May was 21.51% according to Fed data, up from around 15% in 2019. Right? That's interest rates on credit cards. That helps explain why some are finding it harder to keep up with payments, particularly those who don't earn so much. Right? We just read the Haggai 1 and 6. You sow much and bring in little. In general, this has been a bigger issue for people in the bottom half of the income spectrum, right? Those that earn less. But it's going to affect everybody, middle class, upper middle class, just at different times. Some sooner than others. Because there's still proud Edomites driving around in their luxury vehicles, right? But they're going to get it too. It says here, struggling with car payments. The stock declines came after a warning about car payments. Ally Financial Chief Financial Officer Russ Hutchinson said late payments and charge-offs on auto loans were higher than expected in July and August. Borrowers at Ally, a major auto lender, have been struggling with the cost of living and now are struggling with an employment picture that's worse, Hutchinson said. Ali shares fell 18% on Tuesday and have yet to recover. Hutchinson's comments worried investors because car payments are among the last bills people stop paying because they need their vehicles to get around. Listen, man. Let the repo man show up and take your whip. right? This place is done, right? Scripture say, there should be no work for Egypt, neither the head or tail, branch or rush may do, right? That's Isaiah 19, around the 21st, 20th verse, right? No work for Egypt, no jobs out here. If there's no jobs, you can't pay your auto bill, man. If you can't pay your auto bill, guess what? The reaper, the repo man's coming. Right, let's close. Zephaniah 1 and 10, and it reads, and it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate. The fish gate is likened to the stock market today. The fish gate in the ancient world was where produce was bought and sold, traded, and the howling from the second and a great crashing from the hills, right? The crashing is the crashing of the banking system, right? This banking system gonna crash, and Esau is gonna present a solution to reset everything. What is that solution gonna be? The C-hip, the Revelation 13 verse 16 on down, the grain of rice, and people are gonna take it because they're gonna want their lives back. Just like the test run, the dry run with the serpent piss, people wanted their lives back, so they were willing to take the serpent piss because they wanted to go and eat on a patio at fucking Denny's, right? They wanted to go to the movies and eat popcorn, so they took the serpent piss. So these people are gonna want their lives back. I have nothing. I've declared bankruptcy. The repo man seized my whip. The sheriff changed the locks on my doors and barred me from my house. My mortgage is in arrears. They seized my house. I want my life back. That person gonna take the C-hip. 11th verse, howl ye inhabitants of Maktesh, right? Maktesh was an ancient city in Jerusalem of trade, right? For all the merchant people are cut down. The merchant people, right? Today, the banking system, the retailers, right? The buying and trading, the e-transfer, the selling, the buying, that's all going. It's going to crash. All they that bear silver are cut off, right? Cut off from your money. You can't access your funds. Who knows? Could be an EMP attack. You can't get to your money. What little money you have in that day. Because the middle class is going to be brought low. Right? This thing, these be the beginnings of sorrows. So that, Kala Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakaha Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to teach one Ruwell, Shalom to the hopeful elect.